and welcome to my creature feature. Oh, I already messed up. One more time. Hello, and welcome to my creature feature presentation, where I try to find the best creature feature. And that's just a movie with a creature in it, if that wasn't clear. Here are some movies I did not choose, but they're still pretty cool movies, and they feature creatures. Arachnophobia with some spiders, A Quiet Place, which I like aliens, but I'd already chosen 2 alien movies, so I was like, I couldn't choose a third one. Cats, like Cats the musical. I just thought that'd be funny to do, but I don't think that's really considered a creature feature. Cocaine Bear, Creature from the Black Lagoon, a classic. Godzilla, I didn't do. Gremlins, I didn't do. Lake Placid, that's about, I think it's a crocodile in the lake. Piranha, I didn't do. I almost chose Piranha. I'm trying to remember what I put instead. I almost chose Piranha, but I didn't because I read the plot of it and I didn't like it. It felt like a little too silly. The Thing, I think that's also like an alien type weird monster. The Wolfman, there he is. Tremors, earthquakes, maybe it has to do with bats. I can't remember. Razorback is about like a wild boar attacking people. Planet of the Apes, we got apes, but I already chose a movie featuring a type of monkey, so I wasn't gonna do both. Snakes on a Plane, again, I already chose a snake movie. War of the Worlds, Tom Cruise, also, that's a good movie. Aliens. But the thing is, I wanted to choose movies where we get like a wide variety of animals, but because I like sharks, I did pick 2 shark movies because I'm biased, and also 2 alien movies. It's not just regular animals that are in the movies I picked. There's like genetically modified organisms, like things that have been experimented on. There's like creatures that you don't even know what type of animal it is. It's just like a monster. So with that being said, let's freaking jump into these movies. I picked 15, and we're gonna narrow it down and see which is the best creature feature. Oh, I said it. Creature feature. Creature feature. Anyway. Oh, I forgot. I have this stick. Woo. Okay. So, my first choice, alien. And look, there's the alien. My second choice, anaconda. There's the anaconda. Crawl, about gators. Cujo, about a dog. Death of a Unicorn, about a unicorn. Deep Blue Sea, that's a shark. Jaws, also a shark. Jurassic Park, dinosaur. King Kong, what type? Is he a gorilla? Mimic, which is about roaches, I think, or beetles. Oh, God, I should really do, yeah, I actually did do research, guys. I just like forgot all of it. Yeah, it's either a beetle or a roach. Either way, it's fucking disgusting. Predator, I don't really have a picture for that because Predator, like I said, he's one of those just monster looking things. He's not really an animal, but he is a creature. The Birds, obviously about birds. The Ghost in the Darkness, that's about lions. Woo. And The Shape of Water. I know he's like a reptilian, or I think more amphibian sort of creature. Amphibian plus man. And so I put a little frog guy there. But I just thought it would be funny to see all the animals in cutesy form, but really they're about to tear these bitches apart. Let's see what happens. So I have 3 categories that I will be judging my 15 movies by. The first category is the scary. So that's about how scary is this creature. If I was trapped with it, would I shit my pants? Would I cry? Would I just give up and not even try to survive because I'm so scared of this thing? Maybe. So it's all about the creature itself. How scared am I of it? And I'm gonna do 1 through 10. 1 being, I'm not scared at all. I can take this creature any day. I could make it a pet if I wanted to. And 10 being like, if I see that thing, I will kill myself immediately. Here's my next category. Choo. Why didn't you freaking do it? Oh, you whore. Oh. Sorry for I apologize for my outburst. My second category is the situation itself, and how impossible it is to survive. Do I think I could survive it? If I think I can survive it, I'd put like a 1, because I'm like, this shit's easy. I'm just taking an airplane to a different country, I'm not dealing with that. And 10 being like, I think I'm probably the first killed. or just like, I have no chance with this creature. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's gonna rip me to shreds. Next one, the story. And this is from Note. But the story is all about how compelling I find the characters, the plot itself, and just how much I want to root for them. Because if I'm watching a movie and I don't really care who lives or dies, then that's a problem. It's a creature feature. I want to, root for the humans to band together and save the day. If they're not likable, unfortunately the story score will be low. I also knocked off a couple points if there was a main character that was a woman. All very biased, all based on my opinion. So if you're mad about the 15 movies I chose, don't be mad. You're the one who clicked on this video. The scary, the sitch, and the story. Those are my three categories. I'll score them 1 through 10, and then the final score will be out of 30. And I already did all this on an Excel sheet, and I can include that if you guys don't trust me, but I swear I've already done the math. First movie, coming in at number 15, dead last out of the ones I chose. So freaking embarrassing. Ooh, I forgot I did that. Number 15, we got, I want to smack the TV, but I won't. It's an expensive TV. I don't know why I would, so just pretend I'm hitting it. Maybe I'll add a hit sound effect. Boom. Death of a Unicorn. On the scary side, I don't find unicorns in general to be frightening, and obviously they're a danger in this movie, but I think they're a danger only if you attack them. If you just leave them alone. I think Jenna Ortega's character, she's a maiden of pure heart or whatever, so she's spared from the violence in this movie, and I think I'd be like that, because I would never try to take a horn off of a unicorn or try to experiment on it. If anything, I'd try to befriend it, and if I saw a baby unicorn, I would try to bring it to its family. This situation, I do think I could really survive this situation. That's why it has a low score, because again, I'm not a bad guy. The unicorns would leave me alone and eat all the other people. Whether the story's compelling or not, I don't know. It's just a little silly, campy movie. Number 14, what's it gonna be? It's The Shape of Water. I like this movie, but I don't know if you can consider it a creature feature, because one of my categories is it has to be scary, and he's really not that scary. I mean, he's scary in the context as if I woke up and that thing was in my room, I would absolutely freak out. But, as creature features go, he's not too dangerous. He typically doesn't just kill people out of nowhere, only if he's attacked first. I think the scary was raised a little because he eats a cat, and eating cats isn't cool and it's pretty violent. In the situation, of course, that score was lower because I could easily survive this situation. Either I'm leaving this freaky guy alone or I'm freaking him. Am I right? Sorry. I think I can survive this easy, but I do love the story, so it got a high story score because I'm a sucker for a romance, even if it's whatever is going on here. So, yeah. Number 14, The Shape of Water. A really beautiful movie. Number 13, King Kong. I looked it up, and it is a gorilla. This image is pretty famous of him carrying the girl up, but I had never actually seen the movie before, and I was looking at all these behind the scenes pictures and the practical effects, and a lot of it is super cool, so I'm giving it credit for that. But I am not that scared of King Kong because I don't think I'm hot enough where he would grab me out of all the hot girls in the world. And that's not me being self-deprecating, he chose his wife, and I don't think it would be me. And I also wouldn't try to get her back, unless it was my friend, but I wouldn't try to interfere with him either. The situation is pretty survivable for me personally, but I know there's a scene where they go to Skull Island where King Kong is, and there's other creatures like dinosaurs and snakes and scary things. So if I was on that boat and I ended up there on that island, I don't think I would survive that situation. I do think I would get eaten by dinosaurs and the other creatures on the island, but King Kong specifically, I'm not scared of, and I can survive him. It's a classic, and it set up a lot of tropes for future creature features. Next one, number 12. Number 12. It's Cujo! This one is about a dog and it gets rabies. My friend showed this to me when I was really young and we were at our house for a slumber party and I think her mom was like, have you guys ever seen Cujo? And we were like, no. I'd never seen anything by Stephen King before. And so we put this on. It's not a fun movie. If you like dogs, and I'm pretty sure it breaks like one of the #1 rules of horror movies. They kill off the kid at the end. So I don't appreciate that. And he doesn't even get killed by the dog. It's like the dog's attacking them and trying to get in the car. And the mom's trying to protect her son, but they don't have any water or food in there. So he dies of like dehydration and heat stroke. So that's kind of frustrating. Obviously the Saint Bernard before he gets rabies is very cute and I'm not afraid of it. But I would be afraid of this creature. Because you don't stand a chance against like a rabid animal. And it is bigger. Cujo's a big dog, so I would be pretty scared. Yeah, I probably wouldn't survive if I was trying to pet him. I didn't know he had rabies yet. And also, yeah, I didn't really care that much for the story. Because, I don't know, I love a happy ending. So I would have much preferred, like, they survive. And also there's, like, cheating in it. Like, she cheats on her husband. But then, like, I guess they reconcile over their son's death. I don't know. Kind of weird to me. Number 11. Boom. We got Predator. He is scary looking. I won't lie. He's got sharp stuff to slash you with. He can be invisible and sneak up on you. I think he has, yeah, some sort of laser coming out of, which that's not even fair. Like I have a machete or a gun and you have lasers coming out, like incinerating everything in sight. That's not fair. But I do think I could survive the situation because the girl in it, she has no weapons and she's not attacking it at all and she's just kind of laying low and the thing doesn't attack her. The thing doesn't really approach her at all until she like goes to pick up a weapon. So the best thing you could do is not look like an opponent to it. Like don't threaten it. And I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't be in the forest, the rainforest, jungle, wherever the hell they are. I wouldn't be there. So that wouldn't be a problem. But if I was there, yeah, I'm running away at the first count of this murder stuff. I'm not trying to fight this off. I don't have any military training. So yeah, I think I'd be like her and I'd survive and I would be, you know, waiting in the helicopter for Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I would find the story more compelling if, see, I just said like, oh, you know, I'd be like her because I would run away from the scene and not get attacked by the predator. But as a movie watcher, I do wish like she had more of a bigger part in taking down the predator. But that's just me being a stupid girl. Number 10, we're getting into our top 10 creature features of the list that I picked out. Anaconda. We got J-Lo. I am afraid of snakes. Like this thing is so scary. And that's why it's kind of scored higher than the other ones. Because I know if I came face to face with an anaconda, I'm not surviving that shit. And that's another situation where I'm so scared of it because in the movie it doesn't just like eat you and you're done. It like constricts you so you're like slowly suffocating, which sounds awful, but it also will swallow you whole and then regurgitate you out. So it's a lot of unpleasantness, so that's why it's scored really high in the scary. And as well as the situation, if I'm on this boat and there's a big snake in the river, I'm taking whatever weapons we have and killing myself. Like if I don't think we're gonna get out of there in time, I'm not about to get eaten by a snake. That sounds awful. So that's why it's so high. Number 9, The Ghost in the Darkness. I had not heard of this movie before until I was like looking. I was like, what are the most iconic creature features? And I saw this one and it has Val Kilmer in it. And it's based on a true story. It's set in Kenya, and they were building a railroad, and the evil British people to the Kenyan workers were like, you guys gotta keep building this road even though scary things are happening. And what's happening is there's 2 lions. I think they're called Cavo lions or something. So they're not the ones with the big manes, even though they're portrayed that way in the movie, because lions with big manes are better actors. They're not as aggressive, I guess. They were like hunting as a pair, which is pretty rare for lions. So that was like a real thing that happened, and like a bunch of like Kenyan laborers and probably some of like the British people got eaten by these lions. And eventually I think they were like, hey, we're gonna stop building this railroad until someone kills these two lions because they're just like murdering everyone. And so they get a hunter, and in the movie, there's actually two. It's like he's there at first, and then he needs more help, and this guy comes in. The story itself got knocked off a couple points because I think there's only one female character, and it's like his wife, and she's not even there in Kenya. I think we just see her like speaking over the phone. So, you know, no female lead. That's not up my alley. But the lions look super scary. And the fact that there's two of them, not just one creature, so they can like tag team. They attack at night. They're like they're the alpha predator. So yeah, I am pretty scared of this. And I don't think I would survive. So that's why it's at number 9. But again, I would not find myself here to begin with. First of all, I'm a girl, so I probably wouldn't be there. So I'd probably be fine. But if I were there, I would not survive. Number 8, crawl. Crawl is about gators. And I'm from Florida, so maybe that's why it's higher on the list. It is a cool story about, I think a hurricane is happening. Alligators have moved through the flood waters, and if your house is flooded, it's not only flooded with water, but also these man-eating alligators. And they're pretty scary in the movie. Alligators are scary in real life. Like, I don't think I would survive against an alligator, because they do that like death roll. I think I'd be done from that. Like, I have a more innate fear of sharks than I do alligators, but I recognize that alligators typically are more aggressive toward humans. I do like the story of this one. This girl, she goes to visit her estranged father to check on him during the hurricane, and she finds him pretty injured and like trapped in his crawl space, which is why it's called crawl, and the gators crawl. So they have to figure a way out. At one point she's like swimming underneath. It's a good story, so got higher points for that. And I do think it's pretty scary and probably unlikely I will survive the situation. Number 7, it's Nope. Yes, we have scary alien, and there's a very disturbing scene where he's like, he abducted a bunch of people from this little, what's it called, little rodeo situation, and he's like eating them slowly and like swallowing them up, and it's really scary. So, you know, points for scary. And also, there's a second creature in this creature feature, and it's Gordy the chimpanzee, and he is very disturbing. In this sitcom scene where he just freaks out at the pop of a balloon and starts attacking people and like ripping people's faces off in this like violent, graphic nature, honestly I thought he was more scary than the alien. And if I was in the sitcom, I don't think I would survive the situation, because I would start screaming. The chimp, he would probably bite my face off. While the alien is scary, and it is weird how he like mysteriously takes the horses, I do think I'd be able to survive the situation, because if I saw something weird in the sky and it was, you know, taking horses, I would move towns. I would take my horses, pack up my ranch. I mean, that's easier said than done. I guess you have to be in the mood to defend your territory. And I probably wouldn't be. I'd be like, actually I'm gonna get out of here. And they even try to film it up close so they can sell it and make money. No, I'm not about that. Either for the art or for the money. I'm not putting my life in danger. With an alien, I am nothing against an alien. Because I do think I could survive this situation. Not the Gordy situation though. The chimpanzee is scary. But I do love the story. I love the way that they break it up. I like the sister-brother relationship. And I love Keke Palmer. She makes me laugh. So, yeah, great movie. But let's see what's next. Number 6. Number 6, Deep Blue Sea. We've got our first shark movie on the list. And some people think this movie is silly. And it is a silly movie. Like in this one scene, Samuel L. Jackson is giving this monologue, and like mid-sentence, a shark pops up, bites him and pulls him into the water. And also the main character, she dies at the end too. I think there's an alternate ending, but yeah, she dies. So it kind of like breaks a lot of the rules, but you know what? It's campy and it's fun. And it did earn high points for scary, because I am scared of sharks. And these sharks are like modified because they're studying dementia or maybe Alzheimer's, and they're studying it in sharks, so they made the sharks really smart to see how different things affect their brain. I don't know the science of it, probably because it's not real science behind it. Sharks are huge, they're bigger, they're stronger, and they're more intelligent than the average shark. So we got a whole like lagoon full of these man-eating monsters. The story's kind of fun because we find out that the sharks are like cornering these people within the lab that's flooded in a way to help them escape into the ocean. So they're like really smart. They can see the bigger picture for sure. Terrified of these sharks, and I would not survive the situation most likely. I would be working with sharks to begin with because I'm afraid of them. If I was there, I would definitely die. I would not do any of this hero bullshit. Like, I would not jump in the water so that the sharks don't go into the ocean. Okay, I'll just not go into the ocean anymore. If those sharks are in the ocean, no more beach days for me. And I'd accept that. I would not jump in and try to save mankind from these sharks that she created. So it is her fault, so I guess it was her responsibility to do that. Even though it's a silly movie, it is up higher on my list because of the sharks. The creatures are so frightening and the impossibility of the situation. Number 5, we're breaking into our top 5. Don't say it wrong again. Top 5 creature features. We've got the birds. Another classic creature feature. I love this one because it's a female main character, so that's cool. And I think it's interesting that there's kind of no reasoning for why the birds start acting like that. Because, you know, some birds can be aggressive, but they're not like out to kill humans and maim them. They're in this town and all of a sudden birds start attacking people like all at once as if they're part of like the same wavelength in their brain. Very odd. And then at the end of the movie, after the main girl almost dies from being attacked by birds, they end up going in their car and the birds are all on the roof watching them and for some reason don't decide to attack. And I think that's even more scary because it's like, we don't know why they did that to begin with. Like, were they just trying to show us that they could be true predators and to know, mind our business, not mess up the environment and litter and shit and air pollution? Maybe that's why. I don't know what their point was. But yeah, they start killing people and then they stop. I'm personally not that scared of birds in general. But I mean, these birds, I think it would be hard to survive. If these birds decided they wanted to go after me, I guess I would try to like bunk up somewhere, but it's like they can fly through windows and stuff, and I don't want to just like never go outside again. It's iconic, and I love that there's like a little, I love when there's a romance subplot. Sometimes I crave a romance subplot, even if it's a monster movie. High points for story, high points for survivability. You can't like run away from a bird, like you're just kind of fucked. Number 4, all right, if this is the movie I think it is, yeah, it is. I think I know what it is. This is like one of my favorite movies ever. I should have said this before, but I was only, out of like the creature features that I picked, I was only going for originals. So if it was a sequel or a reboot, I wasn't really considering it. So with that being said, let's look at the OG shark movie. It's Jaws! 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 I love Jaws. I watched Jaws and then I became very scared to go in the ocean. I remember one time my dad and I were snorkeling and I almost drowned him because I saw these rocks in the water and they were coming up looking like shark fins, so I was climbing on top of my dad, and yeah, I had to swim back by myself. And there was no sharks in actuality, but this movie did make an impact on me. And I do understand, it's a bad stigma that sharks get, because sharks don't act like this in real life. They're not coming after you in a villainous way. So I feel bad that sharks got put on the map as bad guys and people wanted to hunt them and stuff. But the story is fun. It's Steven Spielberg. I like that you don't really see the shark for the first act or so. So I think that builds suspense, because you're how big is this thing? How terrifying is it? I love the scene where he talks about his experience on the Indianapolis. He does this whole monologue about he was on the ship when it got torpedoed, and his friends were next to him on rafts in the ocean, and he would go to shake them awake and find out they were dead because their legs would be floating away from their upper body because the shark ate them. But it's a really good performance, even though the three main actors, or at least these two actors, I think they had beef while filming apparently. It did get docked a point for the story because there's no female lead. He has his wife, but she just kind of stays at home. And I don't blame her. I would also stay at home. If I was on an island and my husband was the deputy and there was a man-eating shark, I would keep me and the kids, in fact, I would book us a plane ticket. And I'm like, you could be a policeman anywhere, or whatever he is, a deputy. I feel like you can move to another place with a beach. Like, there's gotta be towns with beaches that don't have this one terrifying, awful creature. Coming in hot at number 3, it's Mimic. Mimic is a Guillermo del Toro movie, and he was the same one who did Shape of Water. We're dealing with roaches. I hate bugs, so this is scary on another level because so many bugs can exist, millions of bugs, and they're so tiny. You can't track where they go. I think they're trying to cure some disease that like mainly children have. They like modify these roaches and they make the vaccine from it, and they're able to like get rid of some sort of virus and like save a bunch of children's lives, which is good. These guys, when they were like experimenting them or modifying them for the purpose of eradicating this disease, they did it in only like the males, and they knew that they would never create offspring, so they would just die at the end of their lifetime. I don't know if it was only like one roach, but yeah, it was only like a small amount. So danger wasn't imminent because they were like, these guys are gonna die pretty soon. The 1 or 2 bugs, Mother Nature finds a way to survive. And those bugs, do bugs have sex? Yeah, bugs have sex. The Judas roach or whatever, that was the one that they were experimenting on. I think he found a lady regular roach. They went on a nice date and then they freaked it. And then they had freaking billions of children and more offspring. And so now 5 years later, they don't know it. Miss Scientist doesn't know it. But this colony of giant, well, some of them are giant. I think only one of them is giant. He's like the king. He's like the Judas guy. All these really smart and big bugs are in this colony underneath their town. In one scene, there's this guy getting like dragged somewhere, and it looks like, you know, a tall man with a trench coat has dragged him away. And he's kind of moving funky, but then you realize it was not a person. It was not a human. It was a fucking bug. It was a bug dressed as a human, which is where like the mimic thing comes from, because in order to like, you know, expand their colony without humans noticing, they have to kill humans, and also in order to eat, they want to eat some humans, they mimic human behavior to trick them. Imagine a bug is pretending to be your sister, and you're like, oh, there's my sister sleeping in her bed, and you go into her room and you peel back the covers, it's not your sister, it's a freaking roach. Disgusting. So yeah, that was pretty frightening to me. Got points for scary, because again, it's not one creature, it's like thousands or millions or however big this colony is. I don't think I would survive. Some of these people go underground to be like, I wonder what's going on. Why do people keep disappearing? I would not be one of them. I'm the type of person, if I hear a scary noise, I ignore it. I don't go in search of it. I'm not curious when it comes to these things. When it comes to something frightening, I am not curious at all, because curiosity killed the freaking cat. What's the rest of the expression? But satisfaction brought it back. Alright, but I don't think I'd be satisfied by finding a bunch of bugs underneath. It gets big story points as well as the scary in the situation, because we got a female lead and she's really smart and she ends up saving the day. So yeah, that's why I like it. And a romance subplot between these guys. I think they're both scientists. I love how smart she is, even though it is her fault. She was kind of the mad scientist who made the beetles be fucked up to begin with. But you know what? She takes accountability and she's like, you know, I need to solve this. And they end up getting rid of the bugs. But yeah, pretty unsettling movie if you're not a fan of bugs. Which I'm not, if you couldn't tell. Number 2, it's Jurassic Park, our OG dinosaur movie. I hope you guys have been enjoying my collages, because I spent a lot of time on them. We got like the T-Rex, of course, the Brachiosaurus, the vegetarian dinosaurs. We got the velociraptors, the tiny ones, the Dilophosaurs. Those are the ones that like spit the venom and that like paralyzes you and then they eat you. They're like the little guys. And look, I got these like sketches. You probably can't see them because of the lighting, but they're like sketches of the dinosaurs from the movie. So pretty cool. Just a great movie. And if I'm being honest, a better story than Jaws, even though Jaws is close to my heart. I love that there's a female main character who's smart. Like, she outruns fucking velociraptors. How do you do that? She does some gymnast moves to get out of a situation. The kids, sometimes the kids are annoying. I'm like, stop screaming. This girl, she starts flashing her flashlight in the car, and of course that attracts a T-Rex. If you see a monster in front of your car, why is your first instinct to produce a huge amount of light and or noise? Like, duh, you want to hide. It can't see you as well in the dark because you can't see it. That's how darkness works. But I mean, they're kids, so I should get over that. I feel like no dinosaur movie that's come out after this has lived up to the hype. Because how can you? How can you go against Jurassic Park? It's a classic. It's so classic, it has a section in the theme park. Have you guys been on Velocicoaster? It's a really fun roller coaster where I guess it's as fast as a velociraptor. So I think I sound really nerdy when I talk about dinosaurs. Sharks and dinosaurs I'm like really focusing on. Any movie with that, I'm watching that shit. Number one, this is another one of my favorite movies. I think it's a brilliant interpretation of a creature feature. It has a female lead and she kicks ass, absolute ass. She's carrying a cat the whole time and the cat doesn't die. The cat survives the whole film, which always makes me happy so I can rewatch it and not be afraid for the pet. Okay, I'll just reveal it. Coming in at number one, it's Alien! It kind of puts men in like the same mindset as women when it comes to like, you know, the fear of being assaulted or violated by something and then forced to give birth from it. Because, I mean, I think if you've seen this movie, you remember this scene. The face hugger attaches to this guy. At some point he seems fine. He seems like he's totally cool. He's back with the gang. They're all laughing. And then all of a sudden he's like, ugh, I don't feel right. He gets up and one of the like baby aliens, the little, like one of these little guys bursts from his chest. It's like a pretty wild scene because, you know, they're laughing, they're shooting the shit with each other because they're co-workers, and then all of a sudden it just out of his chest in the most disgusting fashion. And of course, like, the little critter escapes and grows into this terrifying creature. And this one scored a perfect score. All categories, I gave it a 10 because, one, scary. That is a scary looking motherfucker. Not only does it have killer instincts, it's because it's so smart, it knows how to corner them and it knows how to trick them because, again, they're trapped on this spaceship. So it's outsmarting them this whole movie and picking them off one by one. They're trying to reproduce. That's the true horror part. It's not like you just get like slashed or eaten and then you're done. They use your body to create more aliens. And yeah, it's a horrific concept, but it's not just the woman that this is happening to in the movie, the men, because men in real life, they can't relate to, you know, giving birth or being forced to give birth. So this movie really puts things into perspective because the facehugger alien creature does not care. It does not abide by gender norms. It just attaches itself to everybody's face and then bursts out of everybody's chest. I think it's called a chest burster. Scary. This is a perfect score. He is so scary looking, and not only that, but he will kill you. He will kill you brutally, and probably use your body, or you actually have to be alive. That's the worst part. You have to be alive, and they make you reproduce other scary aliens. So that's why it's a 10 out of 10. Like, you're not just being killed or eaten. It's truly a horrific experience, like a really agonizing way to die. And the situation, I'm not surviving that at all. Again, 10 out of 10, impossible. We're on a spaceship. Unless I can like make it to the escape pods, like first thing, which I feel like, I don't know, that wasn't an option in the movie. Unless that were to happen by some miracle, I'm not surviving. And I'd probably kill myself after I saw what it did to the first guy. I'm ending my own life. I'm opening the door, no oxygen, I don't care. And 10 out of 10 story, because we've got a really intelligent female lead who is the sole survivor. She's our final girl. And it's kind of like a bit of an older movie. I think it came out in the 70s. So I like that, you know. She's representing the horror genre well. And this also was made into a really cool franchise. I love Aliens 2 And I love Alien Romulus. This is the creature feature, according to me, and my categories, and my little Excel math sheet. Once again, here's the top 5. 5, the birds. 4, Jaws. 3, Mimic. 2, Jurassic Park. And number 1, Alien. Thank you, Mrs. Ripley. Thank you, Sigourney Weaver. All right, that's my creature feature presentation. I hope you guys liked it.